The point of Chi golf is to take your mind out of it. For people like you who are way too cerebral all the time, and for the last 40 years of my life, all I've heard is a different freaking swing thought every day. You do not stick with anything for a long time. And this is me talking to everybody, and you know who you are. You get an idea, you go out to the range, and if it doesn't work in the first 5 balls, you're on something else immediately. There's no sample size in that. Nothing ever works. Scientists would laugh at you on a daily basis and be like, that's not an experiment. You're never actually gonna fucking get data and results that way. And this is what we do. We think it's fucking smart. And so we're always looking for the next thing, the next idea, the next swing thought, the next gadget that's going to make us a freaking 3 handicap all of a sudden because we've made a birdie before. And it's not like that. Everything in life worth having is worth working for. Let me repeat that. Everything worth having is worth working for. You are not going to come across a really great golfer and find someone who's never actually worked at it a little bit. Right? There's some anomalies out there who are just like phenomenal athletes, and anytime they pick anything up, they're great at it. If that's you, awesome. I want to talk to you more so I can help you get out on tour. If it's not, like everybody else here, you got to realize that everything takes time, right? It doesn't, I could not just go ahead and pick the golf club up and just keep this motion going without any effort whatsoever. When I first got this idea to do this, I was working on it, and I still am. It's a continuous process. And the thing is if golf is for life, then this is worth doing on a continuous basis and putting time in, putting the effort in, making the commitment to getting what it is you want. If you want to be a better golfer, then you got to want to actually put time into it, and you have to be at the range and on the golf course and all these other things. Well, what if it's wintertime? And what if you live in freaking North Dakota and you really can't go and play golf on a regular basis, not to mention it's freezing ice cold? What do? You hang your clubs up and you don't do anything until freaking March or April, and then you're just rusty as fuck. What if you could do something in your own home at anytime that you feel like picking something up and actually working on a system that's designed to put all of that into one thing: golf, range, and gym, all in one training system that actually gets you the results you want in all of them combined. This is a time-saving system that just produces more time, as well as energy, as well as results in the way you look, the way you feel, and the way you play all together. Getting in touch with something else is the missing link that most don't see in this game. And when you do, and you just let go, things actually start to happen. There are not many other training systems, any other fitness systems, any other sports that really connect with a force that makes things happen, where you don't have to be the one doing it as much as you do with others. This is not a P90X, or I shouldn't say the name of that. It's not an extreme fitness program. It's not difficult to do. If you are a golfer and you can stand and you can swing a golf club like I'm doing right here, right? And if you can't do this, we got other things to talk about than, like, your golf game and getting it to the point where you want it to be, right? Yeah, but you are not required to have to do push-ups in order to do this. At some point during yoga, you're going to find yourself actually in plank position, which is basically a push-up position. And that will probably be the hardest thing that you're doing all week long for this. This is not a system that is an intense exercise system. It's a system that is exercise that also trains your golf swing. So it's really a golf training system that has exercise involved in it because of the repetitions that we end up doing. And like anything else, whether it's fitness or sport or any type of achievement, there is time and work involved. So if you're willing to put in the time and work to your golf game, that is on the course or on the range or on the putting green, all these things are required. We will be out there together as well throughout this whole thing. This is a system that can be used anywhere, not just your own home. If you're on the golf course, you're going to be literally doing chi golf moves all day long while you're playing, while you're practicing. Oh my gosh. Let's turn that way a little bit. It doesn't get there. And sometimes that happens. That's why we have that's why the floor is concrete and it doesn't matter. And it used to be fucked up and now it's just smoothed out. It's okay. It'll happen. So you're gonna go back and pull some of that out there and do something with it? Cause you know, I'm just like sitting there doing this. And
So explain those boards.
no, that's not for this.
That's for me.
Okay, just know that you're got different things. This is what I hate about doing these videos. You never go back and actually do anything with them. Are you really gonna, like, you're asking me questions, like you're actually gonna freaking like start doing stuff with this? Are you?
I will cut stuff out. If
that's
you don't
what-
want to do those boards, I get it.
I'm
I'm sorry.
I'll quickly explain it all to you, but like, I just like, who's this for? If it's not for you, if it's for you, then you know what I mean. If it's not, like, you know, this is our own shit. Don't worry about that. That's fucking internal marketing stuff.
Never
This
mind,
news
never
is
mind.
talking about the
Don't do that.
connectivity with chi. What?
I think the chi is an important factor
Yeah,
here.
that's
Why
what I'm
don't you
saying.
talk
That's
about
what
that?
I'm saying, yes, that's about that. Interconnectivity, inner and outer connectivity, Connectivity is just basically our connectedness through the chi and through what we're on right here. There is a sphere. Everything is a sphere. Everything is around yourself. What am I doing right here? I am not picking the club up. I am turning back and turning through. And it gets the momentum because it's working with and against gravity. Either way, both sides. That is why the club goes up and goes down. It is not because you're picking it up. You're turning back and turning through. Look at this turn. Even if I barely turn, it's still from the center of it. If I just take it back with my arm and not my body, I can't go like this. For some reason, that's what we tend to do with both hands on it because we think it's all from here. But really, you have to take it back like that. A long lever. And that's where it gets that. It's still a turning motion around a center piece. It's not a pick up because look how straight up and down that is. That's what we look like in our backswing when we do this wrong and we pick the club up with our hands. Oh, like that. See I just want to be straight up there. And then this is cupped, this is strong because we get strong on our right side. We don't go like this, we go like this. And then where do you go? That's why they all go that way. Right? But when we're just turning that, it kind of flattens out and moves around you, and then turning back through it, it goes there. So again, everything from the sphere, everything around, everything all from above, and then linking in with something else. Conscious mind, subconscious mind, super conscious mind. we're taking the conscious out of golf so that the only conscious that we have is this, seeing it, feeling it, and then getting up to it and letting go and doing it, right? So that's the point. The whole point of this, of golf training, of chi golf training, is to take your mind, your conscious mind, out when you're over the ball. Stop thinking about how, and feel it already happened, because it already did in your conscious mind a second beforehand. So you can make that conscious mind see it before you get up to it. You will do it. If you cannot get your conscious mind to see it, your subconscious will not make it happen. And it's your subconscious that links to the superconscious, or the chi. So the more that we train this to go to this conscious mind, subconscious mind, which your heart really is. That's why we feel things. That's why we get it. That's why they say trust your gut, because there's something in here that you feel and you know. And that's what that is. That is your subconscious mind talking to you. Your subconscious is not up here. It's feelings. Because your subconscious mind is so fast, you cannot process a tenth the amount up here that you are processing subconsciously. That's why it's your feelings and your emotions that we have that really tell us what's going on in our subconscious mind. And then the way we deal with that, through the Zen, through the training, through the discipline, through the practice, the way we train that is then how it links to the superconscious mind. And then something else kicks in, something else is there. When they say, my God, he's playing out of his mind, that's literally what that means. You're not in any mind. You're not in your conscious mind. You're not in your subconscious mind. You are linked with something else at that time. And it happens to everybody at some point that actually puts time and effort into this game, into working on it. It happens to everybody that's been playing golf for longer than a few years, and actually say that, not just, hey, I sometimes pick up sticks with my friends and whatever now and then. No, if you actually call yourself a golfer for a few years, you know what it's like to be in the zone. You've been there before. You've literally gotten something and you've held on to it for a few shots or a few holes or even for a few rounds. And it was just like, oh my God, this is why I do this. And if you think about it, every time that you've ever been there, it wasn't just you, was it?
No mind.
No mind.
So
No
that's,
mind matters.
so that explains when you see something, you see a shot and you just get up and hit it and do it. Because you didn't really do anything except let your imagination take over. Or in your case, and you're saying it's the chi that's doing that.
It's a combination. It's more kind of, it's like having somebody else there with you that's assisting you. I'm not gonna specifically focus on Christianity, but I will say it's kind of like the concept of saying I had Jesus with me. And the reason why that's easy to relate to, and that's why that's been the main, I would say, deity of the last 2,000 years, is because you can actually see the vision of a human being there with you, so you can actually envision somebody else versus a force or an energy that you can't see. And So now it's really about crossing those two concepts together and showing that it's the exact same thing. It's just that for so long, it was needed to be put in a way that people could understand. And so, you know, I'm not saying it's not real. I'm not saying anything against Jesus Christ in any kind of way. But the name is Christ the door. At the same, you know what I mean? But it's all the same thing, same concept. I've got something within me that links up to something greater. And that's what that Holy Spirit in the Trinity is. And so once you realize that, you know, I remember being in church and basically learning about the Holy Trinity. Okay, so I don't get it. It's three things, but it's one, all the same. Yes, okay. And it took a while to really get what that meant. And really that's what it is your inner chi inside of you, that thing that's just gives you these feelings, links you to something more. That is what that Holy Spirit is. And when we get in touch with it, we're able to do way more than we ever thought possible in every way. Physically, mentally, spiritually, everything. Come on through, pal.
Well, he wants me.
Okay.
Let's go over there. Did you get it out already?
So we're gonna have to return, it's still full of salt, they think I can put that up on myself, but